All right, today we're going to talk about North American Railcar Corporation's new Pullman Standard 5077 cubic foot boxcar. So NARC did several different body styles, several different door styles, a couple of different roof styles, and even two different brake applications underneath these cars. And by combining all those, they were able to come out with various different prototype specific cars. I ended up picking up the Canadian Pacific versions, as you see these all over the place in the area that I'm modeling. The Canadian Pacific version is actually pretty cool in the sense that it's got a raised roof, so the roof's a little taller on this car, and it's got vents here. These cars are used in craft service in BC, is where I see them all the time, and parts of Alberta. You see them running through all different parts of the CP mainline, but pretty important that I had these cars on the layout as they really tie it into the area that I'm modeling. Now, very nice body. The body is well cast. Very fine detail. Steps are very fine. Brake wheels very fine. And of course, all your underbody detail, very well done. These things have a newer style metal wheel underneath that I haven't seen NARC use before. And the wheels are pretty good. Now, I'm very specific and particular about the wheels that I use, so I'm going to change mine out to BLMA. But 99% of you are going to be happy with the wheels that are on these cars. Body mount couplers, of course. It's a coupler box cast into the underframe detail and the bolster, and with a coupler box screwed over the top, and it appears to be a 1015 style of coupler that works flawlessly. All 6 of my cars came out of the box with couplers at the right height and working properly. So overall, fantastic cars. They look great. They have one small issue though. As with all new releases, there's always one small issue. 21 grams, they should weigh 30 grams. So we got to get some weight added to these things. So let's zip over to the workbench and I'll show you a relatively pain-free way of getting some weight into these things. All right, so the way these cars are built, the body and the floor are one piece and the roof is a separate casting. So we're gonna have to get the roof off to get any additional weight into this car. 3 of the cars that I purchased, the roof was loose, so it came right off easily. And 3 had the roof glued on. They're using an ACC style glue to glue these on. 2 of the cars, it was just simply a matter of a little bit of glue at each end, so it was very easy to get them off. One of the cars, somebody went crazy and the whole roof was pretty much glued on. I managed after 5 minutes to get that off without doing any damage. But little hint, if you run across that situation, sometimes if you put the car in the freezer, that'll get that ACC a little bit more brittle and it'll be easier to break that joint. So I'm going to show you real quick the best way to get this roof off. I use number 11 blade, but I have one that's dull on the end. The point's been broken off and I've actually kind of even got this sort of rounded off here. So it's acting more like a chisel than it is like a blade. Okay, so what I do is I just go along and I'll find a spot where I can get that blade down in and wiggle it down in between the roof and the top of the car. And then once it's in there, I just kind of run it along like this. When I get to a joint or a spot where there's some glue, I'll just kind of wiggle back and forth until boom, you see that? That just popped right off, and then you can get it open. Okay, now this car had glue only on one side. You can see you got glue here and you got glue here. The other side of the roof, no glue whatsoever, so that one came off relatively easy. Okay, it's not that big a deal to get these off, just take your time and be careful. Of course, once you get the roof off and we add our weight, you're going to want to put that roof back on, but you want to get all this crap, this glue out of here before you do that. Just gently run back and forth and clean that up, and you might have a little bit of glue on the inside lip of the car here like this, and you want to kind of clean that up as well. And then, of course, we're going to put the weights in first, but that roof will just pop back on like nothing. You don't even need glue. It fits so well. So let's get some weight in this thing and get it up running the way it should. All right, so printer's lead. Okay, I have a whole bunch of this stuff. A friend of mine, his dad worked at a print shop, and I got a box full of it. So 3/32 of an inch thick. It's 3/4 of an inch wide, and you know it comes in 4.5, 5-inch lengths, whatever. I determined that 2 half-inch lengths, 3/4 by half-inch, was going to be perfect at each end of the car to get that weight just right. So if you look here, we're 30 grams, exactly where we want to be. So simple solution here. The weight on the car itself is about 3/4 of an inch from the end of the car. Oddly enough, those fit just perfect right down there like that. So they are a little bit narrower than the car. The car itself is 5/8 of an inch through here. So you're gonna have a 1/16 on each side. You wanna make sure that when you bond that to the floor of the car that you got it nice and center so you don't possibly create any lean to this car. So the way I'm gonna put that on is I'm just using some latex caulk, just like that, a little tiny dab, and I'm gonna put it to the inside of the car so that I'm not affecting that screw in any way at all. And there, that's all there is to it. I can let that sit. Okay, I'll do another little dab right here, like that, to the inside of the car. Squish that down, center it in the center of the car so you're not going to have that rock over the bolster. You can see that. That's all there is to it. If you wanted to, you could put it right on the weight as well. It's up to you. It doesn't matter where that weight is as long as it's centered in the car properly, so you have the same amount of weight on each truck. Okay, so there you go. Nice simple solution. Very happy to have this prototype specific car on the layout. Pretty important for the area that I'm modeling. All told, it took me half an hour to get the 6 cars that I purchased up to the proper weight. Not that big a deal in the big picture. All new releases seem to have issues nowadays, and as modelers, sometimes we just have to fix those issues. I did talk to Dan, however, about the weight problem, and he says that he'll be talking with the factory. Subsequent releases will absolutely be at the proper weight. I'll put a link in the description under the video here. You can go and check out both the HO and N-scale versions of these cars. If you like what you see here, feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.